Hi guys, and welcome to part 7 of my tutorial. This one will be pretty short. I'm going to make a wall with the Physics2d system, and I'm going to change our player movement, which is currently based on a translate function, to a add force function. We are going to do this because I'm going to start explaining some AI real soon, and we're probably going to use some of the Physics2d system components later on. So let's first import a new sprite. I'm going to import the wall sprite. So that's this one. We get a very weird console error. I've never seen that one before. But anyway, let's continue. Let's make it true color and give it a higher max size, so our wall will look better. And I know it's a real ugly wall, but for now it's okay, because right now I'm only going to use it to help with testing things out in the future. So we imported the wall into our scene. Let's start it. The player goes right beneath the wall. That's because the wall is probably at a closer position to the camera. So if we move our wall a bit to the a bit further away from our camera, then our player must walk. Our player has, let's place it on here. It's not, so it should have been a positive set. And let's start our scene. So right now our player goes right through the orange wall, and we don't want that. And to do that, we're going to make give wall a Physics2d rigid body, and this will cause wall to become a object with a mass inside the scene, and therefore it will use the Physics2d system. So if we now start the scene, the player will the wall will fall because the gravity scale is set to 1. So let's make the gravity scale 0. Let's start it again now. Now our wall stays where he must be, but our player still goes right through the wall. So let's give the wall another component, which is also a Physics2d, but this time we'll give it a box collider. And a box collider is actually just a collider in the shape of a box. That's really the easiest explanation. If we now start the scene again, our player will still go through the wall, and that's because our player itself doesn't have a rigid body. It's not part of the Physics2d system yet. So let's give our player a rigid 2D body and set the gravity scales to 0, so gravity won't affect our player. And let's give player a box collider. Let's start it now, and right now they're colliding, but our wall's moving, so we don't want that. We're gonna use we're gonna check the box is kinematic, and if we start again, he doesn't move away from his position, but he will change angle if there is a big amount of force applied to one of his sides. And our player also moves angle, which you can see right now. It's a pretty funny effect that you can get. So right now it's looks really hot. So let's give our player a fixed angle so he won't rotate, and let's do the same for our wall. Let's start the scene again, and right now it's good. Our player doesn't rotate, and the light vibration you see in the scene, I don't think the cause of that is the Physics2d system, but I think it's being caused because the camera is moving a bit further and is constantly going a bit forward and going back. So I think it's the camera's fault that we're getting those odd vibrations. But right now our wall's working like it should. Oh, but this is still a problem in our current setting, setting for the box collider, because right now it doesn't seem like we have a isometric view of the scene. We don't have an isometric camera, and that's because the player's head is actually colliding with the wall, and we don't want that. That doesn't give a realistic effect. So we're gonna make the box collider a bit smaller. Gonna make it something like this and move it a bit down. Here is good, I think. And when we start it again, we'll now get a nice overlap, and it seems much more realistic. While on this side it's still okay. Okay, so that looks alright. It looks like a decent wall for me. So let's change the player movement script. I wanna finally change the translate function to add force function. Now we have a rigid body, so we're gonna use rigidbody 2d, add force, and add force works with a factor 2, so it's already the right parameter. Let's copy this and paste it sometimes. Change it all. Okay, let's start it in our scene. He is moving, but his speed should be the problem, the speed variable. So let's make this 1 and start the scene again. He's still moving really slow, but he's moving a bit faster, so maybe 10. 100. Yeah, that's alright. Maybe a bit more, 150. That should be perfect. Yeah, it is perfect. So yeah, now we're using the Physics2d system to control movement and to control our collisions. And now we don't have that odd vibration because we're using the physics system to calculate our next position, to calculate our movement. So there we have our wall. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time. Have a nice day.